Shout out the boy.
All of the experiences that I've spoken about today, something that they've given me in my life is like perspective. And I'm very introspective, and I'm a very big believer in visualizations. Everything that I want to achieve, I feel like I achieve it because I have the mindset. The low part in my life was in 2020 when I collapsed in my living room. My consultant at the time said to me that we didn't expect you to survive. I remember saying to her, I can still feel the pain, and she was like,
Welcome. We're here today, Cosy Conversations, a show where lovely guests come on, talk to me about their lived experience, and hopefully encourage you to know that no matter how life goes, no matter what the road you travel says, you'll be all right, so long as you always ask and always discover. I'm your host, Barak, and I'm joined by one of my good friends, one of the award-winning marketing, cultural strategist, recess lad, and also amazing mother, and just great person, Bonita Samuels.
That was a very good intro, thank you.
I can't lie, it was off cuff.
No, that was really good. I won't lie, that was really good.
No, we try. But thank you, Bon. Thank you for joining. Obviously, this is our first ever episode for the show, or it may be our first episode, who knows? Mm-hmm. And I guess we always want to start with just establishing a bit more about who you are by understanding kind of, why are we here today? So kind of a bit about yours and my relationship, but also a bit more about yourself. So chat to me.
Well, I'm Bonita, obviously, as you know.
Yeah.
Why am I here today? I think I was born in Hackney to a single parent, and I had 5 siblings, and I feel like I have gone through, I feel like I've lived many lives. Like I say that to everyone, I've lived many lives. Like the Bonita you see here today is not the person I was like 15 years ago.
As I was thinking about this episode, I was thinking, I only know Bonat as like kind of brand partnership, strategy, but was it always that you were trying to go into that? Or was there a world where actually like you wanted to do a music thing, or like what was the thing before that?
No, I'll be so real. I've always wanted to work in media.
Swear?
I always wanted to work in media, and I always wanted to work at Mediacom.
Really?
Yeah, which is insane.
But like, why?
So I think just growing up, I think I was a little bit obsessed with like TV, adverts, billboards, like advertising in general. And then when I was literally like, I did media in college, but when I was probably like 16 or 17, I was on the way to Oxford Street, going by some trainers, and I went past the Holborn building, the Mediacom Holborn building. It had like big pink Mediacom sign outside. And I went past it, and I didn't even know anything that happened in that building. I had no idea what they did in that building, but I was like, I want to work there.
Because of the logo?
Yeah, because of the logo. It was media. I just knew it was media. The first thing I did when I got home was I Googled Mediacom, and I literally started emailing like everyone that I could find, everyone's email on the website that I could find. I think I even emailed Karen Blackett, and like she was the CEO at the time.
Oh,
black woman CEO at Mediacom at the time.
Oh, that's the Karen
Blackett.
You know what it is? Steph, I think Steph's told me about her.
Yeah,
because he's cool with her and that still. And like she's one of like the most influential.
Yeah, I mean she was the first black woman CEO obviously in the business, and she did a lot in terms of just like making the culture more inclusive and making sure that people from different backgrounds were able to come into the agency. And like I emailed her, and she put me in touch with her PA, and I literally just like had a call to be like, what do I need to do to get into Mediacom, basically? And like, at that time, there were no like grad schemes or like exec schemes. So I went to uni and I studied psychology of marketing. So I did that, did uni, and then I was literally in retail for like ages. I worked
What was your retail slogs? What was your like belt?
Well, do you know, I actually started working when I was like 15 even. My first job was in Shoe Zone, and then I started working at M&S. I worked at JD, And then I did a lot.
the JD thing.
Discount on, come on. Discount on trainers. It was the best because I've loved trainers.
You love kicks.
I love trainers. And then I did a lot of years in like in betting shops, Paddy Power, William Hill, them kind of places. Yeah, I spent a lot of time. But even in retail, I still took my job really seriously. Like I was like the youngest shop manager in my district.
Of course.
Do you know what I mean? Like I still took it really seriously. And then I was like, yeah, this ain't it. This can't be it for me. And like I remember applying for their marketing grad scheme, whatever, and they didn't let me in. And I was just like, yeah, that's it. I've got to be out of here. So I started doing bare side quests. I just started doing loads of side quests, helping my influencer friends with content, like managing their social media communities, like all of that sort of stuff. And then, yeah, the job came up at Mediacom, and then I applied for it. The rest is history.
On the show, we always love to do a thing where, I guess before we get into a particular section of the conversation, we want to see an item that really resonates with the question that we've asked you. So I guess, why are we here? What did you bring for us today? Let's go into the bag.
Okay.
What have you got?
Should I just take out everything? Should I just take out
let's
just
keep
one
it a surprise.
thing? One thing for this part of my...
Yeah, just the why are we here part. Like,
okay.
Oh, wow, okay.
All right,
talk to me about that and show it to the people.
This is my little scrapbook. It's like a scrapbook, but it's kind of like my vision board, which I do every year. I do a vision board every year. And I put all the things that I want to achieve in the year. And the reason why this is so important for this part of the segment, because I'm a very big like believer in manifesting and just like, visualization and stuff like that. And if God wills it, it will come. That is very much my kind of mantra. And so I just wanted to bring my 2025 vision board, which we're coming to the end of 2025, and I feel like I've achieved a lot of things on this list. Yeah. But a lot of it is like, this is actually, hey, look, Recess Land. I've put a target for Recess Land, the amount of money I want to make for Recess Land this year, which we hit. And and just like spending more time with friends and obviously making more money and, my family being happy and healthy. Like all of these things on here have like, have manifested in some sort of way. Even if it's just like I'm lucky, everything works out for me. Like that is just the mantra I take through life. So I wanted to bring that because I feel like manifestation and just visualization for me and just really like being intentional with the things that I want to achieve has always been important.
No, I think it's so beautiful. Like that's such a nice one to start. Maybe then you can like leave it on the table.
Yes.
Yeah, it would be cool to like build it as we go. But it's really interesting like how I think as I was looking at your 2025 one as well, a lot of it is also kind of like stuff to do with like manifesting who you are, not just what you want, which we're going to come on to, I'm sure, later. Because I think that that's a important one for a lot of people to be reminded of. This show and why we wanted to start this is because we really wanted people to just hear from people like yourselves and others that will be a part of this to really get a bit more confidence in knowing that it's okay to just be who you are, like go on that journey and not prioritize like what you have and all these kind of things. So that's such a great start. And for anyone watching, that's the same for you as well, isn't it? You are enough. Let's talk about a moment that you think, like, you've spoken a bit about kind of like essence and, that in itself was a bit of a moment, but was there any other moments? And actually, let's go back into the bag. Yeah. Because I'm sure you've got something else for this moment. Yeah. So let's go into the bag. Let's see what you've got for a moment that was necessary for you to kind of get to where you are today.
Okay, I'm actually going to bring this jacket out, which is actually a jacket that I've had for, this jacket is like 23 years old, I want to say. It was my brother's jacket. And I've kept it ever since. And it almost feels like, in Harry Potter, if anyone watched Harry Potter, like the cloak of invisibility is this is my cloak of invisibility. It just makes me feel like covered and protected when I wear it. So I've literally worn it for like the last 20 years, but it's kind of falling apart now. So I'm going to retire it. But
you gotta keep that somehow.
I'm going to keep it for sure. I'm going to keep it for sure. But
talk to me. So it's your brother's jacket. Like, how does it kind of link to?
It's my brother's jacket. So I think What is the question you're asking me?
So just like a moment that was necessary kind of as you've got here today. So not so much, it doesn't have to be like a kind of a low point. It's just a moment that's been pivotal in your development as a person, not even just your career, just as a person on your own journey.
Yeah. So I obviously, I said, like, my brother passed away when I was young, when I was 15. And obviously I've kept his jacket, but like, I feel like his passing and just like the process of going through grief at like such a poignant time of my life.
How old were you at that time?
I was 15.
15?
I was 15. 2 weeks before he was 19.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and it's insane because I feel like that moment just really, like, as young as I was just about to turn 16. It was a point in time in my life. I was literally just about to do my GCSEs. And I feel like what his passing taught me was just like how important my family are, and just like, and how important community is. Like, you know, when people pass away, like, it's usually the community that comes together. They really hold you up as a family who's grieving. And I just felt like it was that, as young as I was, at that moment, I realized that it was the people that I had around me. And over time, like over the course of like me processing that grief, that really allowed me to like really step into the person that I was meant to become, I would say. Because I think I could have, you know, when you go through something as traumatic as that, like you could go down two paths, right? You can go down a really dark path, or you can kind of be like, nah, I'm going to let this motivate me and make me better. And I feel like it was only because of the people that I had around me that I was able to take the path of like, I'm going to make this make me better, and I'm going to, you know, step into like my greatness, basically. Like, it's only because I have the support of my village and the people around me that I'm able to be as great as I am. And so I always attribute part of my success to my community. Like, whenever I win an award or I'm on a list or whatever, I'm always like, I always shout out the people who have helped me get here, because I feel like without those people, I wouldn't be here, because I'm not the person I am today without the people holding me up. Do you know what I mean? Or mentioning my name in rooms, or saying, Bon, I've got you for this opportunity, or whatever it is. Like, I'm nothing without those people. And so when people have said to me before, like, oh, you've won this award, like, this moment is about you. I always say, like, it's never just about me.
It can't be. Yeah. It can't be. Like, I think, it's such an interesting one, because I talk about this a lot with my peoples. And I mean, we're very similar in that.
Yeah.
I just love working with people and doing things with people, because it's that whole saying of like, if you want to go fast, like, go slow. If you want to go far, like, wait.
No, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
Go together. But no, the point that I'm making is that, like, everything, first and foremost, I actually think it's better.
Yeah.
Like, why do things by yourself? Like, it's better isolated. And of course, you know, shout out the people who also kind of need to operate that way. Because I guess I've met people in my life who genuinely want to have that just space to kind of just do things by themselves, and that's okay. But I think that you just get such a rich experience from life when you are able to work in community, 100%. Grow in community, have a tribe that you can really lean on in those times of trouble, but you can build with as well. To your point there around like your own community, I guess, would you say that it was in that moment, obviously, where you guys had to like navigate that space of like grief, you know, it really crystallized that, you know, community for you as you've kind of like now moved through your life, career-wise, family-wise, just friends-wise?
100%. Like, I'm the type of person who, I can't do like really fickle relationships. Like, I'm not like, it's either like you're with me or like we're just acquaintances. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's either I'm going to tell you that, or like my deepest traumas, or like we're just people we see. Like
here and there.
Yeah, because I just feel like I can't do the, you know, I guess a lot of people navigate their lives that way, where they have to just build relationships with people and it's very transactional, and that's absolutely fine. Like, obviously there's spaces and times where you have to do that, but I just feel like with the people I'm actually building with, or, you know, I want in my life, like, it can't be superficial.
Yeah.
And that's come from the fact that I've obviously experienced this grief, but also the fact that I've just got such a solid foundation of people in my life that it's like, I almost don't have to have anyone else. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't actually have to have anyone else. So anyone I choose to now have in my life, it's got to be right. It's got to be, we've got to sync. The energy's got to match. Like, I've got to feel your energy, you've got to feel mine. Otherwise, I can't force it.
By force.
Yeah, it's on my force.
Yeah. No, that's encouraging. And I think you do just have to, like, but life is that journey, right? Like, there's so much, like, life still to live. And that journey of, like, you know, meeting people, having seasons where there's some people that are in your life, but they move out of your life.
100%.
Kind of having those seasons where new people come in, you know, it's just beautiful kind of how, as you go on that walk of life, having that open-mindedness and that humility to know you can't do it yourself.
100%.
Because I think that's what stops a lot of people, from my experience, to really kind of try with relationships because they think that, you know, they only have themselves to depend on. And sometimes, unfortunately, you know, there's a lot of people that have gone through like life experiences that have maybe made them think that that's what they have to think. Because of maybe family home or like even school experience, you know, like maybe not being able to have a social school experience. But I guess I would hope to encourage anyone watching that, you know, life is just more fun when you've got your tribe.
100%.
Like, and your community. And it's just about going on that journey of then discovering who those people are. Moving into like the next section and what we want to explore. So we want to go a layer further to really think now about, just a moment where you weren't necessarily prepared for an experience that kind of came your way.
Yeah.
And that maybe like threw you into a bit of a spiral because everyone will go through it in life, unfortunately. But everyone can get through it as well.
Yeah.
And would love to kind of explore that for you. So if you go back into the bag, if you got something for us,
we got this
for this next part, and then just talk to me.
Okay, I'm gonna bring out, where is it? I'm gonna bring out this lovely picture of me and my children. Yeah.
Tell us who are they?
So these are my kids, Khalil and Amal. They're 5 and 2 at the moment. And this was our last holiday to Tenerife, which was real cute.
That was this year, innit?
That was this year, yeah, that was this year. And I bought that because I think like the low part in my life was in 2020 when I basically collapsed. 6 weeks post having Khalil, and I collapsed in my living room. I was at home by myself, and like my husband came home at the time. My husband at the time came home, and he had to call the ambulance, and I was rushed to hospital in an ambulance. And I had, and he was like almost a bit in denial because he was like, "What do you mean?" I literally had been to A&E 2 days before, and I had been on the phone to my GP that morning. All the healthcare basically failed me, is what I'm gonna say, because they missed all of the signs and the symptoms that I had. Gallstones, which were pregnancy induced, and then
what's that like?
Gallstones are basically like stones. It's like these stones that build up in your gallbladder, but because your gallbladder is connected to your pancreas and all the things inside, like they can cause blockages when they move. So what happened is I had a blockage like near my pancreas, which caused my pancreas to become inflamed, which basically, made me I collapsed basically. I was in so much pain. And I was taken to the hospital, and I was literally told, I had pancreatitis secondary to gallstones, and it had been there whilst I was pregnant. It had been there obviously postpartum. So all of the health checks I had, going to A&E, I had an MRI in A&E, I had so many things done, and it was just completely missed. And that led to me obviously being really, really sick. And I was sick for like a full year. The full year that I was off work on maternity leave, I was sick. I was in hospital for 6 weeks. Then I was out, then I was back in for 2 weeks, then I was out, and I was back in for 2 weeks. I had surgeries, I had bags coming out of my stomach. But it was so bad. I went from like being, 80 kg to being like 50 kg. I was a size 8. I was like sick. I was really unwell. And I spent that year basically healing myself and getting better and going through treatment and stuff like that. Went back to work, and then I had got pregnant again in 2022. I had my daughter December 2022. I got sick again, postpartum, same thing. And but then they caught it quicker because they knew my history. But then they had to have an operation. I had an operation in February 2023. But when I was discharged in maybe like April, May of 2023, my consultant at the time said to me, like, we didn't expect you to survive. Like, said those words to me, and I was just like,
wow, what did that, like, hearing that make you?
I almost knew it. Like, it's like, I didn't know it when I was going through it, but I almost knew that I was like, this is so, like, it's life or death. I was in hospital. I just remember, like, I never would remember like falling unconscious, but I would remember waking up to loads of doctors around me in intensive care. But I felt like doctors don't do the thing where they like they don't like to tell you that it's as serious as
the
it
severity.
is. So it's only once I came through it, my consultant said that, and I was like, wow, like.
Did your family like know? Like,
not really.
So they didn't even like tell your family?
It's because of COVID. It was COVID time. So I was in hospital by myself. Yeah, I couldn't see my kids. I was in hospital by myself. No one could come and see me. Like it was the most isolating experience of my life. And like my family couldn't really get updates the way they would if they were able to be in a room with me. So like, I don't think they even knew the severity. Do you know what I mean? Or if they did, they just didn't tell me. Maybe they didn't want to worry me.
I was like, maybe they knew what they were just like.
Yeah. Maybe they didn't want to worry me. But yeah, that was that whole, you know, those 2020 and then 2023 after having my kids were like it was the most poignant time of my life, because I just think like, wow, like I literally could have died. You know what I mean? It's like one more day of like not going to the hospital or whatever, I might not have been here today.
Yeah, no, that's
no.
Thank God you're here.
No, yeah, and honestly, thank God for my life.
Because like life is just so fleeting, man. I guess a question that I was gonna ask you as you were talking is, especially in that space of like isolation, like when you were in like the hospital kind of by yourself and you were having to kind of just push through it, like how did you do that?
I think nothing can really prepare you from like being in such a, like you're broken internally, like you're unwell, you don't have the energy, you're a new parent, you know, you've got all of these responsibilities that you can't take care of, and then you're also worrying about how are my kids, you know, how is my husband at this time, how is he surviving, like what's going on, like the thing is that you cannot. I just couldn't focus on anything but getting better. Like the only thing that kept me going was like my kids are at home. My kids are at home. Do you know what I mean? I need to go back. I need to get back for my kids. I need to be discharged for my children. And like, yeah, that was the thing that was like, that kept me going. But it's so easy to give up in those situations. Do you know what I mean? Like, well, your body's failing you and like you're going through all of this treatment and you feel like you're not being heard. And
because that's the other thing, like, unfortunately, the healthcare system.
Yeah.
And we've done some work like with, like kind of charities that support people in healthcare. Yeah, like it's so sad, especially Black women.
Yeah.
Like, and Black people in general, but Black women in particular, like it's just like
it's crazy. Like I remember telling, like they put me on morphine when I was on my way in the ambulance on the way to the hospital, and I remember saying to her, I'm still in so much pain. I can still feel the pain. And she was like, well, this is what we give rugby players when they break their leg. And I was just like, so like I was so confused. I was like, I'm telling you I'm in more pain, and you're telling me that this is what you get, like I should be okay because this is what you give rugby. And this is like, these are the things that we're having to deal with in the healthcare system.
Rugby player.
Crazy.
What are they trying to even say, fam?
That's what I'm saying. Dark. I don't know what they're trying. I had no idea. Like I think she was almost just trying to say, like, you know, there's men out there that are bigger than you, stronger than you, like, and go through like this pain, and this is what we give them. Do you know what I mean? And like, so you should be okay with it. If they're okay with it, you should be okay with it.
So insensitive.
Yeah, exactly.
So insensitive.
Crazy, man. Honestly.
But I guess through it all, right, like where we've obviously spoken about this, but you're still here today by God's grace. And I guess, how have you been able to become thankful for that experience? You know, what in your life do you really kind of look to and think about that experience, and you coming out on the other side of it and actually saying, you know, I can give thanks because of X. And maybe you can't, and that's okay too. But I guess I'd want to know.
No, I think something that, like, all of the experiences that I've spoken about today, something that they've given me in my life is like perspective and just the ability to. People always say, oh, you always look like you're having a great time, or you're always so happy, or I literally had someone message me and say, like, I just look at you and I just be like, wow, she's so fulfilled in her life. Like, and I'm like, if you knew the struggle, like even off the back of today, like I'm coming in, it's been a tough week. I've been in and out of the office. I've been doing mad side quests. I've got 2 kids. I'm doing a school run, blah, blah. You know, I'm doing everything. And I'm coming in off the back of that today tired, but I will always, regardless of like the situations that I'm in, I'll always find things to be grateful for. Like I have a warm home. My kids have everything they need. If I don't have food in my fridge, I can go and buy food to put in my fridge. You know what I mean? Like there are so many things that I just feel like I've got to be thankful for. And I think that's been because of all of the things that I've been through. Like I don't see life as like I don't see the life as half empty. Like I see the glass half full for me. Do you know what I mean? It's always like I've got an abundance. I've got so much, and I genuinely feel like because I have that mindset, I always get more. Do you know what I mean? Everything that I want to achieve, I feel like I achieve it because I have the mindset. I'm coming from an abundance mindset, and it's like it's not I need to get this because I'm lacking. I just want to keep growing. I want to keep building. I want to keep getting better. And because my mindset is like that, is it that I'm able to achieve more because my mindset is like that, or is it because I just see the beauty?
See the opportunity.
I see the opportunity. I see the beauty in all of the small things.
This is it, and I love what you said there because there's so much here that really affirms who you are now, what you see, and it really links to what you just said about like the glass half full, but not because you've got things that tell you that, but it's your perspective, which is so important. And also just the perspective on who you are through these experiences, like not just, again, what you have in the scenario that you're in, but actually who you are as a person.
Yeah, for sure.
We're now going to start like rounding up this lovely conversation that we've had. And what I want to kind of know now is bringing us back to the present. We've spoken about it a lot, but it would just be good to crystallize it, right? You know, in terms of like your why and what you would really say your why is. Yeah. And how these experiences, I guess, just the key themes and the key things that we kind of discussed here in terms of the experiences that you've had have influenced your why. But of course, as we know, before we do, into the bag.
Okay.
Into the bag.
I feel like I'm just going to bring out the rest of the things because I feel like they all kind of play a part in this like next bit.
Shout out the boy. Come on.
Yeah.
All this one.
But it's interesting because I actually bought the Dave vinyl because obviously I'm a big Dave fan, but I feel like in obviously all of his music, he there's always questions. There's always commentary, there's always questions, and it makes his music always makes me ask like, okay, but what, or why is this, or do you know what I mean? Why is that? So like I bought that because I thought there's not many things that we have in our lives these days in terms of the content we consume that prompts thought. Do you know what I mean? A lot of it is brain rot, or just just scrolling TikTok, scrolling into that bare brain rot, and like I just feel like I've over time, as I've gotten older, a thing that I've become more conscious of is prompting reflection. And I'm very introspective, and I'd like to think that anyone I surround myself is a lot more introspective than the average person. Do you know what I mean? And can like question themselves and ask themselves why they did that thing or why they thought that thing. And I bought that because I feel like that symbolizes that part of my life, which I feel like I've grown into being that kind of person. But I've also bought I've also bought these photos. So these are like my Polaroids. A lot of this was taken around the time I was sick, but I'm a big believer in archiving as well. And so like I have a ton of like photo books because again, I think it's all about reflection. I think it's about just what we had, or like what I had growing up was like so much footage from my childhood that I can go back and look now and be like, oh, there's things that I don't remember, but I can still be able to reflect on moments that I had as a kid and like just see how my life was growing up. And I just feel like all of these things that my family did, even though they seem small, the documentation of like my childhood, I think has had such an impact on me. And so like, I really just want to do that for my kids as well. And then I also have this 1 line a day diary that I've been filling in for the last 2 years of like just things that reflections in my day or.
So have you done it every day?
Yeah, I've done it every day for the last 2 years, and I want to leave it for my kids. So when I'm gone or when I'm older or even they're adults, they can just like they'd just be like, oh, I wonder what mum was thinking today. Do you know what I mean? Like on this day in 2023 or whatever, like I wonder what she was thinking. And like,
what were you thinking on 7th of October, if you don't mind sharing? That's actually really cool though.
yeah. Okay, it says, don't let being comfortable make you complacent. Growth starts with that scary feeling in the pit of your stomach. Yeah, so that's my...
Imagine if you just over there, it was just like...
Nah, do you know what?
You know the thing where you're just doing like a dumb thought?
But there are some dumb thoughts in here as well, because I need my kids to see that I've got duality. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm a serious person, but I'm also a very unserious person. So look, even here it says, I spent the day with Shanika and Serena, my sisters, and we did a buzzball and kebab night. Diet starting Monday. That's
on Monday?
No, it says diet starting Monday. That's what it says. I'm unserious too, you know.
That's lit still. That's lit. Yeah. But no, I mean, it's just so wholesome. Like looking at everything here, like as I'm just looking at it, the pictures, like why you got the Dave project, the one that I might actually get into this.
You should, honestly.
I think this might be a cool
I literally did it because my auntie kept my nan's diary. My nan died when I was 5, and then my auntie kept like all her diaries, and like she's got the day I was born, she's like done a little entry on my birthday and stuff like that. It's just things like that. You think, oh, like she's not here anymore, but I'm still so close to her.
Yeah. It might be a that, because that's actually a really cool thing to do. And it just, again, it comes back to that point around grounding. You mentioned it in terms of like talk to me a bit about that before we kind of go on to the final question, just how you continue to really ground yourself, stay present, you know, and why is it so important to you?
Yeah, I think it's easy to get carried away, like when you've achieved certain things or you've become like relatively successful in your life. Like it's easy to just be like, you know, oh, I'm that girl, or like, and just get carried away and let the ego build or whatever. Do you know what I mean? And I always, you know, there's that saying that ego is the enemy. Like I'm a true believer that ego is the enemy. And I feel like it takes away from relationships and so many things. I think the common theme throughout this whole thing has been community, it has been my family. But those are the people that keep me, you know, grounded and keep me humble, I guess. I don't like to use the word humble, but they keep me humble. Do you know what I mean?
Grounded is cool. Yeah.
Yeah, they keep me grounded for sure. Because I never want to be the person that like, you know, starts to forget where she came from or the person I was. I've been in the trenches. You know, we haven't even touched on it, but I've been in the trenches. So like, I never want to be the person who forgets that. Do you know what I mean? And regardless of the fact that my kids are growing up in a whole different class to what I did. Do you know what I mean? I'd never want to forget the fact that that's where I came from. My roots are important. So all of these things, like the archiving process, the line of day, music, like the manifesting, it all just keeps me in a space where I'm like grateful for all of the things that I have, knowing that I still have yet so much to achieve.
No, beautiful. And I guess our final question is just, what are you still asking? What are the whys in your life that you're still grappling with?
I think for me, like the thing that I always ask is like, what matters now, and is it going to matter tomorrow? Like, and I don't mean that in the literal sense tomorrow, but like over time, it's like what I'm working on, what I'm crafting, what I'm building now, really going to make a difference in 10 or 20 years. You know, when I'm no longer here, what are people going to say about me? And how am I contributing to that legacy now? The surest thing that we all know is that we're all going to die at some point. Do you know what I mean? So, but it's like, what am I leaving behind for people to remember me by? Do you know what I mean? And that's the question, is like, is what I'm doing today helping to build that legacy?